Move right along, guys. There's nothing to see here. Literally, there's nothing to see here. Because it's funny that they tell us there's all this debris and satellites and just tons of junk floating around in orbit around the Earth, yet during spacewalks, we see none of it.
You must not know how exposure works, Mother Ducker.
Miss me with the silly explanations for why we don't see all of this up there. Because these would not be missing the space station if this were all real. During these spacewalks, the camera will point this way, that way, back into the void of space, and still, no debris, no other satellites, nothing of that sort. And while we're on the topic, look at this continent. I encourage you to go try to match this exact continent up with anywhere on Google Earth. Because it's not the large continents. I've looked all around them, tried to match it up. If you could find it, please do so. Now, when you just look at satellites and rocket bodies, look at this. Even this, we should be able to notice something up there as they're flying around the Earth. But when you put everything into effect, it's like a solid object. Now, with all of this debris and all the stuff flying around, listen, if you were flying at 5 miles per second, which is how fast this space station is moving, while the astronauts are on the outside of it, taking their carabiners and clipping it here, and well, that's not right. We gotta freaking, clip it here. You know, it's just nothing the entire time. They're clipping here, clipping there, doing their little thing, doing nothing for 8 hours straight, just tinkering. But anyway, imagine a piece of debris flying around up there with them. Let's just say it's going the opposite direction at any speed, or it could be sitting still. But even a golf ball sized piece of debris hits the space station as it's going 5 miles per second, it would obliterate the space station. Hey, also remember, orbiting is free fall constantly. We would be having pieces slamming into each other, causing a trajectory toward Earth. There would be satellites crashing down all the time. Please be honest.
Atheists saying we came from a cosmic fart explosion that magically created everything, then evolved from pond scum into apes into humans.
What the hell are you talking about?
Me driving past the NASA building knowing they are deceiving 99% of the world with bad CGI and green screens.
Did you know there is a giant magnetic mountain at our North Pole? It's called the Black Rock. And it was the Phantom Island. In many old maps we see it depicted. And in the middle of this big whirlpool where all the seas kind of go and drain, there's this big black magnetic mountain, sometimes referred to as the Rups Nigra. And it's not just one map. Many cultures have depicted this area as a sacred place of power. A few books were written about this. Of course, they were destroyed in the 1600s. And when people look at this area in the heat maps and signatures and they see the wind blowing right past this huge thing, 33 miles wide, in the middle of the north, maybe we've been lied to.
The inner planets should never be seen at night. The heliocentric model is totally wrong. Earth is the center of God's creation, not the sun.
Hey, tic-tac. So where do you guys live? Is it here on planet North America or here on planet Africa? You gotta choose.
What it feels like at 65 miles an hour. I can feel the wind, I can hear it, and I can see the effect.
A friend of mine asked me for my reaction to that video. And it's very simple. You can do all the math you want. You can make up all the theories you want. But none of it will ever make the Earth spin.
What up, my fellow legends? Let's talk about the one and only, the firmament, and how there's actually proof that it exists. Let's get into it. Alright, let's quickly dig into Genesis and see what it says about the firmament. Verse 6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. So like we just read, Yah separated the waters above from the waters below. That's why when you take a high zoom camera and you zoom in on the stars, they look like they're under some sort of liquid-like medium, like water. Not a coincidence, Globers. This is what a star actually looks like, and just a coincidence, it looks like it's underwater. Now staying on the water subject, look at a double rainbow. The top rainbow, the colors are inverted because it's a reflection off the waters above. Makes perfect sense. Here's another proof rockets hitting some sort of barrier, and on a few of them it looks like there's ripples or if there's water above. It's a rocket hitting the firmament. Boom, looks like a ripple of water. What a coincidence. Here's another one. Imagine somebody throwing a rock in a puddle of water. You get a ripple, just like it shows. Now here's one more of a rocket that's scraping against the firmament, and it looks as if you shot a bullet underwater. That's exactly what it looks like. Alright, so let's check out some CIA documents where they straight out mention the firmament, and you can verify this yourself, numbers at the top. The spectral brightness of the firmament. Photographic observations of the spectral intensity of the firmament. The color temperature of the firmament. Results obtained by the observations of the Soviet expedition in Egypt of the diurnal firmament. What a coincidence. Alright, here's a newspaper from 1935 talking about the firmament. The word is from the Latin word firmamentum, meaning support. The word firm is from the Latin word firmus, meaning firm. Alright, now listen closely to this next part. So to those writers, the stars were set in that firmament like we would set electric light sockets of bulbs into some firm substance for the purpose of lighting some area. So just like we say the stars are in the firmament, that's exactly why they rotate as a perfect clock every single year, because they're in the firmament which rotates above us. Pretty simple. From the book of Enoch and other things I saw concerning lightning, how some of the stars rise and become lightning but cannot lose their form. We also have something called sprites that prove the firmament. Well, what sprites? Here you go. So these lightning sprites are effectively electrical tendrils that are branching down from the firmament. Now there's also something called elves, which are effectively the ripples that we would see in the firmament as if somebody threw a pebble into a lake and you saw those ripples. So these discharges look like they're almost fireworks coming out from water or a lake, but just flipped upside down. Just more proof of the firmament. That's why you have thunder and why it echoes, because it's reflecting off of the firmament.
Does anyone else find it weird that all of our ancient ancestors had the same depiction of the universe? This is the Hebrews. This is the Egyptians. This is the Hindus. This is the Mayans. This is the Incas. This is the Navajos. This is the Norse. Now all those depict a flat stationary plane with a firmament above us. And then NASA came along. They created a flying ball with curved water. Okay, well maybe our ancestors were wrong. But what does NASA mean in Hebrew? To beguile, to deceive. Why does their logo have a serpent's tongue going straight through its logo? A serpent, a slight or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it.
Marked safe today from believing some Freemasons inside a tin can landed on the moon in 1969 with the technology of a first-generation Game Boy handheld game console.
I just have something to say just inquisitively to the Globers. I know you guys are very protective of your globe, and I get it because I was one of those people. But one thing I didn't do was harass other communities, including Flat Earth, and insult them. But I don't think it's an intellectual thing that makes people do that. I think it's a thing a matter of civilization. Because in kindergarten, they teach us a few things. The ABCs, your numbers, how to be polite, and how to wipe. You didn't learn something. I don't know which one it is, but don't take it out on me. I just have questions about the realm we live in. Is that so wrong? Why are you so mad that I want to find out more? You should be supportive of information. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you're right, you're right. But how do I know if I don't question for myself? And that's what this journey is in life. Everything is perspective. Everything changes when you change perspective.
Anyone else enjoy the show? Why are astronauts from Apollo 11 getting a Hollywood star?
To the heart. I never kissed a mouth that tastes
I bet I could tell ya.
strawberries and some.
You guys, I can tell you why the sky is blue. I could tell you why the earth is flat. But man, I found this one right on Google for everyone to see. You just gotta look for it. Solid oxygen forms at normal atmospheric pressure at a temperature below negative 361 degrees Fahrenheit. Solid oxygen, O2, like liquid oxygen, is a clear substance with a light sky blue color caused by absorption in the red part of the visible light spectrum. Come on, people. Come on. Anyone with half a daggone brain can see it. This is why the sky is blue. It's the air particles reflecting off the sunlight, and then they reflect blue. No. This is why. The solid dome, the looking glass, that God looks at us like we were grasshoppers, is solid oxygen. Well, where do clouds come from? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the temperature difference. You ever think of that? Like, sun going around warming things up. You got an ice cold dome above us. Clouds start forming. Builds up moisture. Drops moisture. Blue sky. Dome. Flat earth. Read your Bible and love everybody.
So we have the moon. A perfect ball. A perfect circle. According to science, it was formed because a big asteroid the size of Mars hit the Earth, and with the crumbles, it went up there, it stayed together, it got together, and it made a perfect ball. It doesn't add up to me. Where are the little crumbles like Saturn has, right? Where are the little asteroids? Number 2, it all got together and solidified, and it made a perfect circle like that, and it stayed there forever, and it didn't go anywhere else? This is very strange. What made it go together in the first place? What made all those pieces, all those crumbles of the impact get together and form that? Sorry, science. Sorry, official science. I don't believe your explanation.
Antarctica is defined as anything beyond the 60th parallel, latitude south. Anything outside of being a tourist, which may cost tens of thousands of dollars, and you will be watched the whole time and taken only to certain areas, will have to have a special permit to visit. You may have access to all areas if you become a designated observer by your nation. Good luck with that, as we know they will only select members of secret societies to become designated observers. If you try to cross the 60th parallel south with no authorization, you're most likely to be arrested like Jarl Antoy, who was sentenced to prison and had his yacht confiscated, if not shot dead as some of his friends.
Visit Flat Earth Banjo Store and grab a t-shirt today. You can also order the brand new enhanced Gleason's map either in blue or red border. Just click on the link tree on the description. Order your items today.